everyone is ready to rock and roll today. Okay, so it's a new day, Thursday. Today we're starting a new lesson, lesson 22. So your job today before our Zoom was to watch the lesson 22 video. So for those of you, and hopefully it's everyone today, who watched the video and you're prepared for class, who can tell me what we're moving on to? Sophia, you remember? What did you see in the video today?
We're learning in the video the factors
Very
of
good.
numbers.
Factors are really important words in the fourth grade. Sophia, what is a factor?
A factor is one of the numbers that you multiply to get the answer, or like
Sophia,
both.
what's your favorite math fact?
7 times 7.
Think of something that's not a double. 7 times
7 times 4
equals what?
28.
Okay, so I'm going to hold up Sophia's favorite fact. Who can tell me what the factors are in this equation? Maria, do you know? What are the factors in this equation?
7 and 4.
Very good. We have an answer. The answer is 28. Who knows what the math word is for the answer in a multiplication problem? Izzy?
The product.
Awesome. The great thing about multiplication is you can have an equation like this. 7 and 4 are the factors. If I switch those two factors around, and I now have 4 times 7. Nevaeh, what does 4 times 7 equal?
28.
So in the bottom equation, Tessa, what are my factors?
4 and 7.
And what's my product?
28.
Okay, so 4 times 7 equals 28. 7 times 4 equals 28. Is it just luck or random that it's the same answer? I see some heads shaking no. Colin, why are you shaking your head no?
Because multiplication and addition both have it where you can put the number or the factors either way and it will end up the same answer.
Right, the order doesn't matter. And I have told you guys this, what that's called. It's a property. Do you remember? I'll give you a definition. This property means that it doesn't matter the order of the numbers, you will still get the same answer. And it's like the turnaround rule in second grade, but this is the more mature vocabulary. Elijah, did you think you knew? You all know because we talked about it. I'll give you a hint. It's something property, and it starts with a C. Olivia?
Commutative property.
Great job. How many of you remember commutative property? You remember hearing me say that? We probably you haven't used it, but let's try to use that. So it's the commutative property. Very good. So today's lesson talks a lot about factors and products. Okay, so before I share my screen with you, I'm gonna sneak over to my Schoology page. Now, my next question is gonna be, is there anyone who has started making a list of themselves of things that they need to do when they're home, like we've been doing in school? So number 1, what was the first thing that you need to do today for math class? First thing on your list. Sarah?
Watch the video.
Finn, is that your list? Great job, your own checklist. Very good, the lesson 22 video. So if you did that already, you can check that off your list. If you didn't, I really would wish that you would get into the habit of checking the night before, and I've been trying to post it on Dojo. Andrew, are you listening? Okay, don't play with your calculator yet. Listen to all the directions. Can you sit up? I don't want you falling asleep on me. There you go. You're coming back to school Monday, so we got to get ready. Okay, get ready to sit in that chair. Okay, so just lost my train of thought because the door opened. Let me think. What were we talking about? Oh, first thing, that's okay. First thing on the list was lesson 22 video. What's the second thing on your to-do list today? Tanya?
Student workbook pages on Zoom.
Very good. So it does say lesson 22 problem set. And it says if you're coming to the Zoom, we're going to do it together. So we're all going to turn to page 110 in your student workbook. And now I'll share my screen with you so that you guys can see what I'm seeing. Page 110.
Miss Shevchik.
Yes.
Oh, is this the one we're doing?
What's wrong?
What
I
page?
thought that was the wrong page.
Does your page look like mine? 110?
What
It
page
should
is
say
it?
lesson 22 problem set at the top. Page 110.
Okay. But it says lesson 22 on mine.
That's the lesson that we're on.
Okay.
Okay, and we don't have to do all of these. So I'm going to circle the ones that we need to do. Actually, I didn't even write them on here. We're just going to go through some. I wasn't sure how tough this would be for us, so I didn't actually even put any down. Okay, so the directions say record the factors of the given numbers as multiplication sentences. So go ahead and underline where it says multiplication sentences. Andrew, did you need something?
I'm gonna be getting my glasses at today.
Okay, that's great news. So a multiplication sentence means we're going to be writing an equation or multiple equations in order from least to greatest. We have to classify each as prime or composite. The first one's done for you. So the first thing that we need to talk about is what's the difference between prime and composite? Who knows what a prime number is? Prime. I think I have. Anyone know? You can go ahead and unmute yourself if you know what a prime number is.
A prime number is a number with only two factors.
Okay, let me see if I can make this nice and big for everyone. Can you guys see that okay? Okay, so a prime number is a number that has only two factors, one and itself. So if you look at the number 5, look at his little speech bubble. My factors, that's easy. It's just 1 and me. So if you look at the word prime, you see where we have a letter I and then ME. So hopefully that's like a little trick to have you remember that prime means the only factors are 1 and itself. So when you look at the number 5, the only thing that you can multiply to get 5 is 1 times 5, or the turnaround fact, 5 times 1. So our rainbow is very boring, just one stripe of color, because it's only 1 in itself or its factors. But then when we look at a composite number, a composite has more than 2 factors. They create colorful factor rainbows. So let's look at the number 25. Ilea, what can we multiply together to get the number 25? Always start with the easiest. Every single number you can multiply by what?
5.
No, not every number. Every number will have what as a factor?
1.
1, because all numbers can be multiplied by 1 in itself. So if you look here, we have 1 times 25 equals what, Ilea?
25.
What else can you multiply together to get the number 25? Look at the paper in front, look at your screen. It's written there for you. Look at the 25 rainbow. What else can you multiply? What times what equals 25? Julian?
1 times 25 and then 5 times 5.
Good, so we have 1 times 25, and we only put 5 one time, but look, the rainbow's going from 5 to itself. So that tells us 5 times 5. You're gonna hear the word factors and factor pairs. So the factors are 1, 5, and 25. But the factor pairs are what goes together. So 1 and 25, 5 and 5. So even though there's only 3 factors, it's still composite because there's more than just one in itself. Now let's look at the big colorful rainbow. Brian, look at 36. We're going to start with the easiest also. What can you multiply 1 by to get 36? Let's see. Does your new volume work?
Yes.
Oh yeah, let's test it out. 1 times what equals 36?
36.
So that's why we have 1 times 36. Okay, Brian, keep going. 2 times what equals 36?
18.
Good. 2 times 18. 3 times what equals 36?
12.
They're connected. 4 times what equals 36?
9.
Very good. And there's, where'd my calculator go? One more. What's the last one?
6 times 6.
Equals?
36.
Very good. Okay, so I want to show you guys something else also. Let's go back here. So on your calculator, when you have a number like 36, we just went through, and I always start at 1 and I work my way up. So when you had 36, if we want to see if 2 is a factor, we divide by 2. When you get a whole number, you know 2 times 18 would give you 36. If I put 36 in and divide by 3, 3 and 12. Now, I'm not going to repeat all of them, but they skipped 5, and I'm going to show you why. Soren, when I put in 36 divided by 5, what do I get for my answer?
7.2.
Is that a whole number?
No.
No. So I cannot multiply 5 by anything to get 36 because it gives me a decimal, because that means we would need parts of another number to make it a whole. So that's how you know it's not a factor, because when you divide by the number, it won't give you a whole number. When you look at your multiplication chart, you can also look to see all of these are factors. The numbers going horizontally and vertically. Everything inside is a product. So this will also help you. So when you're looking at letter A, you're looking for multiplication sentences that equal 4. You can look through here and I see here's a 4. So I know 4 times 1 gives me 4, which I have here. If I keep looking, here's another 4. 2 times 2 we have right here. And you're going to see it again, but here we have 4 times 1. You're not going to repeat the sentences. And I probably wouldn't circle them all on your chart because pretty soon you'd have everything circled and it would just start to confuse you. But that's how you can use this chart. So and I love factor rainbows. I think that's one of the most effective ways to figure out the fact when you have completed your list of factors. So right here, we're going to make a factor rainbow for 4. Elijah, we always are going to start with what number? Because it's a factor of every single number.
1.
So Elijah, I'm going to put a 1 here. What am I going to connect my 1 to? 1 times what equals 4?
4.
Okay, then I'm going to go, what comes after 1?
2.
Does 2 times anything equal 4?
2 times 2 equals 4.
Okay, so since it's 2 times 2, I'm going to write it once, and I'm going to connect 2 to itself. If you did not write this, please write this down. When you have a number that is a double from 2 to 2. If you're drawing a rainbow from itself to itself, you should know you have all the factors. You don't have to keep going to 3 and proceed to count up. Also, whenever you get back to a number, you'll know when you get to the turnaround facts, you know you have a completed list. So the factors are 1, 2, 4, which makes that number 4 prime or composite. Riley, is 4 prime or composite?
Composite.
Why?
Because it has more the 2 times 2 makes it composite because 1 times 4 would make it prime.
Okay, and to be a composite number, you have to have more than what?
More than 1 equation.
More than 2 factors. So you need more than 2 factors. The last thing that I want to point out is that 0 and 1 are neither prime or composite. They're special numbers. They are neither. Okay, so let's try some together. Let's move on to 6. Now, this does say to write equations. I'm going to change the directions because I want us to make factor rainbows because I think they work better. Peyton, what's my first factor pair for 6?
1 times 6.
So I'm going to connect 1 and 6. Okay, let's go to 2. And if you're not sure if 2 times anything equals 6, you can use your multiplication chart. So let's 2 times anything. I want you to look down this list, Peyton. Does 2 times that, do you see a 6 anywhere?
Yes.
2 times what equals 6?
2 times 3.
Okay, so I'm going to put my 2 here, comma, so I know it's not 12, 1 comma 2, 2 and 3. Peyton, what comes after the number 2?
3.
All right, look, it's right here. So I'm not going to write it again. This is when you can say, oh, yes, I have all the factors because you've got to the turnaround fact. Riley, read me the list of factors for the number 6.
1, 2, 3, and 6.
Very good. Riley with a B, is the number 6 prime or composite? I'll pull the chart up here again for you to see the difference. Is 6 prime or composite? If it's prime, it only has 1 factor pair, 1 in itself. If it's a composite, it has more than 2 factors. Read your list to me. The factors of 6 are what? Look at letter B on your paper. We just did it. The second column, and it says the factors of 6 are what? What does your list say?
1, 2, 3, 6.
So is there only 1 pair of factors or more than 2 factors?
2.
1, 2, 3, 6. How many numbers is that?
4.
So is that only 2 factors or more than 2 factors?
More than 2.
So if it's more than 2, is it prime or composite?
Hi Gina, how are you? It's Samantha. Okay, how's your mom doing? Good.
Composite, yeah, more than 2. So letter B is composite. Okay, who have I? Let's have Cram Car. Unmute yourself. You're gonna help me with letter C, okay? We
Okay.
have the number 7. What's my first factor pair?
1 times 7.
So I'm gonna have a 1 and it's connected to 7. Okay, does 2 times anything equal 7?
No.
And this is how I can check it. If I have a 7, if I want to see if 2 is a factor, I divide, and you see I have a decimal, so it doesn't work. So 2 is not a factor. What about 3, Carson? If I do 7 divided by 3, does 3 work?
No.
Okay, what comes after 3?
4.
Does 4 work?
No.
Comes set now 7 divided by what? What comes after 4?
5.
Does 5 work?
No. Oh,
All right, what about 6?
no.
So then we're back to 7. And we already know 7 times what equals 7?
7 times 1.
All right, so we're not going to rewrite that. So what are my factors of 7, Carson?
1 and 7.
The only numbers that you can multiply together to get 7 are 1 and 7. So Carson, is 7 prime or composite?
Prime,
Why do you think it's prime?
because it's more than 5 and 1.
No, not more than 5 and 1. What makes a prime number? Look at the definition. The 5 is just an example. What's a prime number?
It's a number with 1 with it.
Now, read the poster right in front of you. What's a prime number?
It has
Can you
more
see?
than 2 factors.
No. Read, look at the poster. Are you looking at the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, this says prime number. Read what it says.
A number that only has 2 factors.
So when you look at your workbook, how many factors does 7 have?
7.
No.
1.
No. Here are the factors of 7 are 1 and 7. How many factors are listed?
2.
2. So if a number only has 2 factors, does that make it prime or composite?
Prime.
Prime. Very good. That's why 7 is prime. It only has 2 factors. Okay, let's go ahead down to 9. All right, Maria, unmute yourself.
Okay.
Okay, help me make a factor rainbow for the number 9.
It's 9 and 1.
Well, let's start with 1 and 9. I'm going to connect them. Okay, does 2 times anything equal 9?
No. Wait.
No, and you could know like 2 is an even number. And here's a trick for you. A 2 is always a factor of even numbers. So any odd numbers will never have a factor of 2 because 2 times nothing. If you look down here, you'll know 9s. And if you also look down the 2s, you don't see any odd numbers. So now let's go to 3, Maria. Does 3 times anything equal 9?
Yeah.
3 times what?
6.
No, 3 times 6 equals 18.
Oh, 3 times 4. 3.
3. So since 3 goes to a rainbow with itself, that's when you know you have all of your factors because that's just like your turnaround fact. You can't go any farther. So if I wanted to try any time, 4 times nothing gives me 9, 5 times nothing, 6, 7, or 8. None of those multiplied by anything will give you the number 9. Maria, what is your list now of factors for 9? You're going to look
1, 3,
here.
and 9.
Now, good. And you're not going to put 3 down twice. You just put it down once since it's multiplied by itself. So Maria, would 9 be prime or composite?
Composite.
Why?
Because it has more factors than 2.
Very good. More than just one in itself, because we have that 3 in there. That's what makes a composite. All right. Bella Watkins, you've been doing really good with your math facts. So can you help me with letter E, 12? Unmute yourself, honey.
Okay.
Okay. What are we going to start with?
1 times 12.
Yep. And I just like to make sure I have enough space. So that's why I make it real far apart. Okay. Does 2 times anything equal 12?
Yes, you can do 2 times 6.
Okay. So I put my commas. 2 times 6. Okay. Now, all these questions that I'm asking myself, it's what you need to be doing when I'm not doing it with you. Does 3 times anything equal 12?
Yes, you can do 3 times 4.
Okay. After 3 comes what number, Bella?
4.
But we already know 4 times what equals 12?
4.
No, 4 times 4 equals 16.
3
What's 4
times
connected?
4.
There you go. So we're already now repeating. So you have your whole list. So now these are our factor pairs. 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. But now let's make a list. What are my list of the factors of 12, Bella?
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12.
So Bella, is 12 prime or composite?
Composite,
How do you know 12 is composite?
because it has more than 2 numbers.
More than 2 factors. More than, tell me that more than not just numbers, they have to be factors, okay?
More than 2 factors.
Very good. Good job. Okay, Nevaeh. Letter F, 13. You've been practicing your facts? You think you know everything that equals 13? All right, let's go. What's my first one?
1 times 13.
Okay. How about 2? Remember what I said about even? Is 13 even or odd?
Odd.
So 2 will never be a factor. So let's move on to 3. So if I look at my multiplication chart, this 3, do you see a 12? No, 13. We're on 13. Does 3 times anything equal 13?
No.
Nope. Okay, let's try 4. Does 4 times anything equal 13?
No.
How about 5?
No.
6?
No.
7?
No.
8?
No.
9? Remember looking for 13.
No.
10?
No.
11?
No.
12?
No.
13? Does 13 times anything equal 13?
13 times 1.
And we already have that. So here's our whole list. So Nevaeh, the factors of 13 are what?
1 and 13.
So is 13 prime or composite?
Prime.
Okay, nice job. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more to do. You guys want to get into some breakout groups? We can each do one. Be better than doing them all together. Okay, before I put you in your groups, do you have any questions about using the multiplication chart, using a calculator, or what prime and composite is? No questions? Okay. I said there's 6 problems left, right? So I'm going to put you into 6 groups. That'll give you about 4 or 5 people per group. So I'll check in with you. And if you have any questions, I'll pop in, okay? All right, go ahead and go to your rooms. Soren. Soren.
Mrs. Shevchak, since we're room 1, are we doing G?
I forgot to tell you guys which one you're doing, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, it's been a day. I went to the dentist today and the power was out at the dentist. So I had to clean my teeth by the sunlight. So it's been a day. All right. Yes, you're group 1. Hey, Colin, how did you click to ask me a question?
On the screen
Uh-huh.
at the bottom, there's mute, stop video, participants, chats, share screen,
Oh, gotcha.
record.
Okay, yeah. You
Then
guys do.
There's an
You guys
ask for help button.
You guys do G. Okay.
G, okay.
Okay.
I forgot to tell you guys which one to do. Are you doing H?
Yeah.
All right, good. You guys you don't even need me. Good job. All right, I got to hurry up and get all the rooms. Bye.
Bye. All right, is that all of them?
Yeah, that's all of them because 4 is a double fact.
Now
Oh,
we
I don't
can put them down.
So 1.
But I don't know how that
I
works.
forgot to tell you guys your letter I. Is that the one you were working on?
I just said, which one are we doing? I didn't hear.
I forgot. Letter I. Okay. 18.
So then,
Are you guys doing letter J?
what?
You guys are letter J.
Okay.
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 So you write down.
What letter are you guys working on?
We're working on letter G.
Okay, you're supposed to be letter K.
Yeah,
Skip
we
it
weren't
to K.
sure. I asked them, but none of them were sure what they were supposed to
I've been
do.
trying to hurry up and get around every group. So I just went by what number you were. So you guys are group 5, I think.
Okay.
So you're going to be letter K, all right?
All right. Go ahead. Somebody start it. Go ahead, Trace. What?
Like letter
I
F.
forgot to tell you guys what letter to do.
We just did the 6th one because we were in the 6th breakout group.
Good, you guys are geniuses. Most people already knew they could carry on without my directions, but I
Okay.
got one group that said, what letter are we supposed to do? And I was like,
I know.
I never told anyone. So
I
I
know.
jumped right. I don't even have to run to any rooms. I just got to get into a group, get out of a group. All right. You guys good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Thank you. Phew, we did that one right. Okay.
How are you guys doing?
Did we figure it out, the ones we have?
Which letter were you?
H.
Okay, tell me what your factors for 16 are.
1.
2, 4, 8, and 16.
So it's composite.
Very good. 1. So 1 times 16, 2 times what?
8.
Yeah.
What was your, was 3 1?
No.
4?
Yes.
Yeah.
4
Four.
times what?
4
Oh,
times
those
4.
are my favorite. Because you know when you get that double, then you have your completed list. Great
Mhm.
job. All right. Quiz each other on facts. We'll be getting together in a minute, okay?
Okay.
How are you guys doing? Are you still working or are you all finished?
We're done.
Okay, so you were letter K, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Trace, tell me what you guys have for your factor pairs.
We have 1 times 21 equals
Okay.
21. We have 7 times 3 equals 21.
Any others?
No.
Okay, so would that make the number 21 prime or composite?
Composite.
All right, I'm gonna close the breakout groups. I'll see you in a minute, okay?
All right.
All right, looks like we're still waiting for some other groups to come on back. Okay, let's get it started. Who would like to, from whoever was in group 1, who would like to tell us your factor pairs for 15? Go ahead, Colin. So everyone else should, if you weren't in group 1, you're going to be filling this in with us.
So the first factor pair is 1 and 15.
Great.
Then we tried 2. That did not work. 3 worked. And because that worked, we narrowed it down to, if
Colin,
anything,
3 times what gave you 15?
5.
Okay. What comes after 3?
4.
Did that
And-
work?
No.
So after 4 comes,
5.
and now you're back to your turnaround facts. So you should have a complete list. Read me off your list of factors.
1, 3, 5, 15.
Does that make 15 prime or composite?
Composite.
Why?
Because it has 4
what?
factors.
4 factors. Very good. Okay, group 2.
We didn't have anything, but I'll do it. So we
Okay.
did 1 times 16. Then we did 2 times 8. Then we did 3, but that didn't work. So we went to 4 times 4.
Oh, I love those ones when it goes to itself. You don't even have to think anymore. So Tanya, your list is 1.
1, 2, 4, 8, 16.
So would that make 16 prime or composite?
Composite.
Why?
Because there's 5 factors.
Very good. You have more than 2. Great job. Okay, group 3, number 18. Who was in group 3?
I can do.
Ben, is that you?
Yes.
Were you in group 3?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. 18.
First we did 1 times 18. We went to 2, and we did 2 times 9. We went to 3, and we got 3 times 6. And then I think that's all.
Did 4 times anything give you 18?
No.
5?
No.
And then here we're back at 6. That's how you can be sure you have your whole list. So your list of factor pairs would be what, Finn? I'm sorry, list of factors, not factor pairs. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 18. So Finn is 18 prime or composite. Ilea is 18 prime or composite.
Composite,
Why?
because it's more than 5.
No, 5's not the magic number.
Because
What
it's
makes a composite number?
more than 1.
No,
More than only 2 factors.
2. If it only has 2 factors, 1 in itself, it's prime. You see here, we have 5, 1, 2, we have 6 factors. So since there's more than 2 factors, it's composite. Okay, can I have someone from number 19's group?
I can do it.
Okay,
So 1 times 19 is there, and then we didn't get anything else.
okay, can anyone else think of anything that you can multiply together to get 19? Any other numbers? All right, so Soren, go ahead and read me my list of factors for 19.
One and 19.
So Soren, if my only factors are 1 and 19, does that make 19 prime or composite?
Oh,
Yes, you know. Let me pull the poster back up. I only have 2 factors, 1 and 19. So would that be a prime number or a composite number?
composite. Oh, wait.
A composite number has more than 2 factors.
I'm in.
Prime.
It's a prime number because it's the factors of 19 are 1 in itself. 19 is the number we were working on. Okay, how about number 21?
I can do it. Okay. So what we had was 1 times 21. And then we had 7 times 3.
Okay, now hold on. I know this might be picking hairs, but we're not going to go 7 because 7 doesn't come next. So you go 1, it's an odd number, so 2 doesn't work. What comes after 2?
3 times 7.
3 times 7. We want to keep them in order. Okay, how about 4?
That doesn't work.
5?
That doesn't work either.
6?
Doesn't work either.
And now we're back at 7. So our list would be 1, 3, 7, and 21. Peyton, is 21 prime or composite?
Composite.
Why?
There are more than 4 factors.
No, not 4. 4 is not the magic number.
There are more than 2 factors.
More than 2 factors. Very good. Okay, 24, last one. Who was in my last group?
I think Elijah's.
Me. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So first we did 1 times 24.
No, please hold me.
Lauren, please mute yourself.
And then we did 2 times 13.
Okay.
Not Soren, please mute yourself.
Or not 13, 2 times 12. And then we did 3 times 8. And then we tried 4 times 6. And in between 4 and 6 is 5. And we tried 5 and 5 didn't work. And so our factors are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 24, and it's a composite number.
Wow, I almost ran out of room. How do you know that's composite, Elijah?
Because it has more than 2 factors.
Yes, it does. That one actually has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a big one. Okay, so here we were just making factor rainbows. This keeps swinging on me. And we made the list of our factors and then designated if they were prime or composite. I want you to flip the page over and we're going to do one more where we're writing down the factor pairs for one of these. So the directions say find all of the factors for the following numbers and classify each number as prime or composite. Explain your classification of each as prime or composite. Okay, so Ms. Jameson, do you want to do 25, 28, or 29?
So let's do 28.
Okay, we're going to do it together, but we're just going to skip through these two and just do one. So now we're going to put the factor pairs for 28. I'm still going to create a rainbow below. All right, who haven't I got to talk to today? Andrew. Are you there? No. Oh, no, I haven't talked to you yet. Go ahead and unmute yourself. No, what's my first factor pair for 28?
1 times 25.
No, 1 times 25 doesn't give me 28.
I mean, 1 times 28.
Okay, so I'm going to connect those. Okay, now I'm going to look at my multiplication chart. Does 2 times anything give me 28? This might not help. So look, if we go the whole way down, 2 times 12 gives me 24. So now I'm going to use my calculator. No, if I want to see if 2 is a factor of 28, what would I divide? 28 divided by what?
Divided by 4.
The number that we're trying to find if it's
1.
a factor. Now we already know that 28 divided by 1 does give us 28. That's how we know 1 and 28 are factors. So if I want to see if 2 is a factor, I would divide by what? You want to divide by the number that you're trying to see if it's a factor. So what are we investigating? What number?
2.
2. What did we get?
14.
So that tells me no that 2 and 14 are factors. What comes after the number 2?
3.
So in my calculator, I'm going to put 28 divided by what?
3.
Does that work?
No.
No, because I have a big long decimal. Okay, after 3, I'm going to try what?
28 divided by
Comes after 3.
4.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay, so my next factor pair is what? 4 and
4 and 4. 4 and 7.
4 and 7. What comes after 4?
4. After 4, it's 5.
So if I do 28 divided by 5, does 5 work?
No.
Nope. Let's try what comes after 5.
6.
Does 6 work?
No.
What comes after 6?
7.
And look, we already have a 7 here. So that's how we know we have our whole list. Okay, so see. All right, Andrew, I've been looking for you. All right, Andrew, unmute yourself. No, you can mute yourself. Andrew.
Yeah.
Okay, we just made our list. Now tell me what one factor pair for 28 is. Look at me. Look at the screen. What's one factor pair for 28? Noah just helped us create the whole list. Now we just have to put it in the chart.
1 and 28.
Okay, so I'm going to put 1 and 28. Okay, so I use that one. What's another one?
2 and 14.
Yep,
4 and 7.
very good. So Andrew, is 28 prime or composite?
Composite.
Why?
Because of mole factor.
It's composite because there are more than how many factors?
2.
There you go. Good job. So I'm going to put 28 is composite because there are more than 2 factors. So your pencil should be moving right now. You should be writing this down. 28 is composite because there are more than 2 factors.
Two.
Okay, so you do have something to work on right now. You have homework for tonight that we're going to be checking tomorrow. So before we start our Zoom tomorrow, I'm going to say, hold your book up to the screen and you can only check your work if it's finished already. So I'm going to tell you the numbers that I want you to do. We did some of them because we needed the practice. So you guys, I want you to circle number 4 on this page, and I'll go back and I'll edit this on our Schoology page. I want you to do number 4, and then I want you to finish number 2. So circle 4 and 2. Then tomorrow we'll check these and this one before we start. So number 2 and number 4, that's what you have for homework, okay?
Okay.
Do you have any questions? Okay. Before we go, who can tell me the difference between a prime and a composite number? I see lots of hands. Okay, Tanya, what's the difference between a prime and a composite number?
Prime only has 2 factors, and composite has more than 2 factors.
Great job. Great job. Okay, do anyone have any questions? I'm adding this on your Schoology that if you were in the Zoom today, you only need to complete page 111, numbers 2 and 4. So if you are not in the Zoom, we'll just keep it the same as I don't confuse anyone at home or anyone that's in school today if they get on at home. Okay, so